Okay, we'll start in 5 minutes. Hello, hello. Ano ba mauna? Hello, hello. Hello, test.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Ito na.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Hello, hello.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the 45th tabloid organization in Philippine sports, Usapang Sports, here at the National Press Club. And we're going to be very, very delighted with our lineup of guests today. May I request everybody to rise for the prayer?
Okay. Okay, let's bow our heads in prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the wonderful weather. We thank you for giving us the strength and continuing guidance. We pray that you will be with us as we conduct our 45th edition of Usapang Sports. Thank you for our guests for took time to be with us. We pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Can we remain standing for the national anthem?
Yes, the national anthem, please. Thank you. Kindly take your respective seats. And before we start, let me remind everybody that we are live. Right now, we are live at liter.ph. Courtesy of Direct Carlo Maceda, of course. Ed, our president from People's Tonight, kindly give your opening statement.
Good morning to all of you. In behalf of the officers and members of the tabloids organization in Philippine sports and our partners, the Philippine Sports Commission, the National Press Club, PAGCOR, the Community Basketball Association, and HG, Guyabano Tilip Drinks. I welcome all of you to the 45th edition of our TAPS Usapang Sports.
Thank you, Ed. And of course, we'd like to welcome Coach Jimmy Alabag, San Miguel Beer Alab, Pilipinas, Lawrence Domingo, Jason Brickman. We've heard a lot about you, and of course, si Aaron sa Letran pa lang, napapanood na natin. Tama ba, Aaron? Ano? Anyway, in 2003, player, 5'9" player from California was drafted 10th overall by Talk and Text, and the journey was really colorful, no? He won a lot of awards. And I would like to throw the first question to Coach Jimmy. Coach, how hard is for you to, from a top-notch player to become a coach? Your transformation, I mean, the journey, your journey.
Well, unang-una, I'd just like to say maraming salamat to everyone for inviting us here for this forum today. And pasensya lang kasi grabe yung traffic dito sa Rojas earlier. But again, it's an honor to be here, especially with some of our players for the upcoming season. To answer your question, sir, medyo my adjustment going from, a player who, I feel very fortunate to have played in the PBA and for the Gilas team for 14 years, and making the transition to coaching. Iba yung isip kasi when you're playing as a player, parang your focus is on what I can do to help my team. I want to be an extension because I was a point guard, so I want to be an extension of the coach and try to help my team and myself play at the highest level to help us win. Pero iba yung perspective as a coach kasi as a player, again, it's an emotional game, so kung daming tao sa game, the adrenaline, you can feed off of that, especially dati when we play San Miguel, play Ginebra, you feed off that energy. But now as a coach, kailangan that you stay much more calm and relaxed when you're on the sideline, kasi my perspective now is parang it's much broader because I'm not only watching what we're doing as a team, pero yung kalaban din. So that's probably one of the biggest things that stood out is just understanding that I need to be very calm and collected with my thoughts kasi pag time out ako, kailangan, okay, we're gonna run this play, or defensively we're gonna run that play. Because if I get too excited, parang I'll call timeout and then wala na. I don't know what to say. So that's been the biggest transition. But I'm thankful to still be connected to the game and to be able to share all that I've learned through the years.
Coach, I asked you this because there was an observation for so many years among the sports writers that the bench warmers during their time, they become the good coaches, but you're not a bench warmer. In fact, you're a multi-awarded player. So this is new for us. A PBA MVP, greatest player, Southeast Asian Games gold medalist, etc., yes, veteran of the World Championship. You're not a bench player. You're a starter. I mean, what can you say about this? They say that the good coaches right now are those who are really not given the good playing minutes during their time.
Well, sana, hopefully this will be a new trend. I feel very fortunate because when I was playing, I played for, as you guys know, Hall of Fame coaches in Philippine basketball. From, all the way from my time back when I first started, sa rookie year ko, way back in 2003, kasama si Coach Joe Banal from Ateneo, then he joined us my rookie season. From Coach Joel Banal, we moved to Coach Derek Kumarin, and then towards the middle to the latter part of my career, my time with Coach Chot Reyes, Norman Black, Coach Tab Baldwin when I helped him with the SEA Games team with the cadets. So and even ngayon, I'm with kasama si Coach Tim for the upcoming SEA Games. So I feel very fortunate to have been around some of the best basketball minds here in our country and learn from them and to see how they approach the game and their work ethic. So I think that's really helped me in my transition now into coaching. So hopefully sana kahit bench warmer or good player, you transition to being a great coach.
Anyway, we have to, before my colleague will shoot their questions, can you give us an update on your team, on your roster right now, the San Miguel Verde Alab Pilipinas?
So our San Miguel Alab team, as of now, we're just about complete. We have currently we have our last import darating siya tomorrow night. See Khalif Wyatt, a EuroLeague veteran. The last 5 years he's been playing in Israel. He's actually played against a former teammate of mine, Richard Howell, who's been the Israeli national team naturalized player. So nag-usap kami, and just from his resume and parang sabi ni Rich that he's sipag siya, high character, great work ethic. So we're excited to have him. So our 3 imports for the upcoming season will be Ronaldo Balkman, Adrian Forbes, and Khalif Wyatt.
Who are the new players? You have new players, I mean, aside from the imports.
So yung bago players namin, of course, we have Jason Brickman, who's here. One of my longtime teammates dati sa PBA. See Aaron Aban. We have Louis Vigil, who's going to be on loan from us from the San Miguel team. He'll still be practicing with the San Miguel team, pero once the ABL season starts, he'll be with us. Sino pa? Balik si Lawrence Domingo, and also yung kapatid ni Matt Rosser from San Miguel, si Brandon Rosser from last season's team. We have 2 college players coming in, but I'd rather not say their name right now because I know they're the UAPs in a crucial part of their season. So we've spoken to 2 players who are very interested to join us after the season, but unfortunately for right now, I think it'd be unfair for me to name who they are because I don't want to put any added pressure considering the status of the UAP season.
Coach, will it, in 2018, actually you steered the team to the championship, no? But in 2019, medyo hindi yata nagtagumpay. So, what are your, alam mo ang target mo ngayon, of course, always the winning the title, pero the quality of opposition, I'm sure, is also improving dito sa ABL. So, what are your chances?
No, absolutely. I think this upcoming ABL season, daming players have moved to other teams. So that only adds, I guess, a little bit more pressure for Alab to perform well. Pero I think every season yung goal is always to compete for the championship. That was our goal the first season when we were fortunate enough to win. Sayang last season because we got up to such a great start. At one point in the season we were 17-3, and we only had 2 imports. And for the Pukuat 3, but we decided to go with 2 because I wanted to give the local players more of an opportunity to play. And unfortunately, we were hit with some injuries at the end of the season, and parang you can never foresee that happening. And before we knew it, we were eliminated early. So of course, the goal this season is to continue to work hard. I'm very excited about the players that we have. Especially with my time with the Sacramento Kings this past summer, they were very, very big on yung character and yung work ethic sa players, more so than the talent. Kasi ngayon, especially dito sa Pilipinas, it's easy to find talent, but not just the talent. We wanted to make sure that we found guys who have that high character and that work ethic, because when you can combine the 3, we feel like it puts us in the best position to be successful.
Coach, sa philosophy mo, sa coaching philosophy mo, anong gusto mong maging tatak, the trademark of your team, of your present team?
I think first and foremost, we want to make sure that we play and honor the game the right way. Kasi playing in the ABL, we're representing the country. We're not necessarily a club team. We're representing our country. So I think first and foremost, we want to respect the game and understand the responsibility that we have as a team to represent our country the right way. But I'm a firm believer in letting our players play to the best of their ability and not keep our players in a box. So, I don't want to tell our guards, hey, kailangan perimeter lang, or our big guys, oh, sa loob lang. I want guys to be confident. I want them to be free in how they play and to go out there and compete every night.
Thank you. We have to ask the comments of our players. Unahan natin si Aaron. Aaron, champion na ba ang Alab ngayon or ban?
Good morning po sa lahat. Thank you po sa pag-invite dito sa amin.
Anong masasabi mo sa chance nyo ngayon?
So far,
Ayos na. Ilista na. May nanalo na.
siguro po medyo may chance na po malaki siguro na nakapasok sa championship ngayong season na to.
Jimmy, correct me if I'm wrong. Aaron will be the enforcer, Pag if somebody, the opposing player he will take care of the.
Aaron's, somebody come in to PBA for a long time, and Aaron was always a player for our team who was one of the hardest workers, had the highest character, and kahit 25 minutes or 5 minutes, he was always ready. Through all the championships that we won together, ready siya talaga every game. And I think his value to our team this season will just be his leadership, especially for some of our younger players to understand that here's a guy who's been very successful at the collegiate level, at the professional level, and I just think he's a quality person, and you can never have enough of those guys on your team. So I'm excited that we're reunited, even if I'm still now. Not that we're teammates now. I'm coaching and he's still playing. So excited to have him.
Thank you. Jason, are you, correct me if I'm wrong, are you going to enter the PBA draft?
As of right now, I'm not going to enter. Just focused on the ABL season right now and with Alab.
And his last team wasn't really Alab, no? He played for another team.
Yes, last year kasama siya sa
Mono ba?
Last year kasama siya sa Mono Vampires sa Thailand.
Okay, thank you. Lawrence, can you say something about your team, about the Alab team? What can you say?
Good morning. It depends. What do you want? What do you want to know?
I mean, your chances.
Chances. I always like our chances. We got a great group of guys coming in. As long as everybody's willing to work hard and focus on that common goal that we have and stay together, I love our chances. I'm confident in the team, confident in our coaching staff. So,
Okay. So when is the conference, the ABL? When will this start?
So yung first game sir namin will be November 17 against his former team.
Mono Vampire, Thailand.
Vampire. So sa Bangkok.
Okay. The next question at kanina pa po ito is really itching to ask this question from Manila Bulletin and Balita. Mr. Edwin Rolyon.
Hello, good morning. Coach Jimmy, you've been part of the national team many times, including the FIBA World 2014, which is, we think the team performed very well in the world stage. But since then, parang puro failure yung Philippine team natin sa international competition, and hindi natin masisisi, naging parang hopeless yung mga basketball fans natin. And even the Senator Manny Pacquiao said that let's forget basketball and focus on individual Olympic sports. Can you give us your opinion on this statement, and dapat ba talaga maging hopeless ng Filipino basketball fans sa ating Philippine team? Wala na ba yung puso?
Well, sir, I think my opinion may be biased a bit because I was a part of the program for a decade almost. With all due respect to all our Filipino athletes, I think absolutely we should try our best to continue to support the other athletes that aren't necessarily just basketball. I'm 100% absolutely supportive of trying to help our other Filipino athletes because there's so much talent within our country, and this is, I'm not talking basketball, I'm just talking sports in general. I think there's so much talent in our country. I think we do need to do a better job of trying to support our athletes because we've shown, Heidelin Diaz is a great example. We've shown that we can perform at that level. Even our performance in the World Cup in 2014, I think we showed that we can perform at that level. Is it easy? Absolutely not. Does it take a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice from a lot of different sides and players? Absolutely. But to say that it's hopeless, I strongly disagree. I don't think as a Filipino, our passion and our spirit and our work ethic would ever say to any Filipino athlete, kayak basketball or any other individual sport, to say that it's hopeless. Because if it's hopeless, then why is it? Then it's not sports. Because that's the essence of sports. You always have a chance. Kahit I'm a wrestler, I'm a basketball player, I'm a football player. Kahit team sport, individual sport, that's the essence of why we play, because you always have a chance and there's always hope. So, of course, 99.9% of Filipinos love the game of basketball, and watching the last World Cup was difficult. As the former captain, it was not easy to watch because it wasn't our best. But it doesn't say that we live to fight another day and that we can't be better going forward. In terms of the program, does it need to be looked at and for us to find ways to improve the program? Again, absolutely. But to just say it's hopeless, I disagree.
That kind of attitude, Jimmy, will carry San Miguel Alab to the championship, I think. That kind of attitude. Anyway, Lawrence, I have to go to you, my friend. You're actually the most veteran, I think, the lineup. The start of, you never leave the team. Why? I mean, I'm sure other teams are itching to get your services, but you stay as a San Miguel Alab player forever. What can you, why?
Hello. Okay. I have plans of going to the PBA eventually, but it's been, really good. Al's been really good to me, and I like playing for the country. I like representing the Philippines, and in the past there may have been opportunities to go play somewhere else, but I would have rather played for the Philippines and played under Jimmy, and I think that in the long run it ended up being the best decision that I could have made for my career, and I don't regret anything. I really enjoy playing for Alaba. I love playing for the country, and I love our fans. So,
So maybe in 2020 you will enter the PBA draft. Is that a fair assessment?
2020, 2021, soon.
Okay.
Soon.
May I call, thank you. Lawrence, may I call on Arman Romero, Manila Standard.
Okay, good morning. Okay, Coach Jimmy. Kasi you mentioned a while ago that we all know that the opposing team, the other teams have improved as well. So, which team do you think would be the most difficult for you to beat?
Like you said, sir, all the other ABL teams have improved this season. I think the teams who really stand out this early would definitely be Singapore.
Okay.
Because they had the last, I believe, 4 of the last 5 years, they've been either in the semifinals or the finals. They've been very consistent. Jason's former team, Mono Vampire, they brought in two imports who played for the Macau team last year. Two really talented imports to go along with his former teammate Mike Singletary, a former PBA import. They'll be tough as well. So, and I think Saigon could be another team. They changed the coaching staff. Daming bagong players sila, from the local players even to the imports. They have another former PBA import and was actually a former teammate of mine, see Gary Forbes, who spent time in the NBA with, I believe, the Toronto Raptors and the Denver Nuggets. So I'm sure most of you have heard that OJ Mayo, a longtime player in the NBA, is now playing for the Taiwanese team. So the ante in the ABL has definitely gone up. So it'll be important for us, again, just to continue to work hard, stay healthy, and sana, pagdating yung first game that we're healthy and ready to get out there and make our way up the mountain.
Thank you. I have to ask Jason Brickman. What made you decide to join Alab Pilipinas this time?
Yeah, I've been wanting to play with Alab for the past 3 years. Since the first year I played with Malaysia Dragons, and ever since I've been trying to join the Philippines team. Just haven't been able to get it done. So finally, after being able to join this year, I thought it was a great opportunity to learn from Coach Jimmy. I've loved their organization, the way they've ran things, and they've always had a really good team in the ABL. So I'm just excited to play here for the Philippines, in front of the Philippines fans, and try to bring a championship.
We're just curious, Jason. Do you have the Filipino blood?
Yes, my mom was born and raised here in the Philippines.
Where in the country? Where in this? What place in this country?
Pangasinan.
Province?
Is that
Pangasinan.
Pangasinan? Yeah.
Okay. Sige, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Arman. I also have an African blood. Nigeria. Yes. Anyway, I will have to call Mr. Smooth, Dennis Principe, to shoot the question. Smooth, ha? Bakit? Okay, thank you.
Kumusta dyan? Thank you very much, Mr. Ruff. This has got to be the bloodiest Tops Forum edition. Lahat tayo dinudugo ilong natin eh. You're all nosebleed, because of the guests. Okay, Coach. Good morning. Coach, as a follow-up to the question of Dennis a while ago, because yun nga, he mentioned that it's really rare for top caliber, iconic players to succeed as a coach. And I was talking with some coaches. They say that probably it's because players like you, whenever they coach, they tend to compare themselves to the players. For them, it's easy, but for regular players, it's tough for them to be like you guys. Do you have that kind of feeling na parang you tend to compare? It's easy for you to do this, but how can't you do that?
Absolutely not. As a coach, my players will rarely hear me talk about my career. Again, I'm thankful for the time that I had in the PBA, my time with Gilas, but it's unfair to my players to try to say, well, this is how I did things. One, the game has changed. It's a different time. And what I did has no bearing on what Jason or Aaron or Lawrence go about their career. So, Lawrence has been with me the last 2 years, and I think he could vouch for me that my players will never say, hey, how come you didn't make that shot? I would have made that shot, Again, I think Dennis, yung isip ko going into coaching is just one. I've been very fortunate kasi yung kasama ko when I was playing. Again, I played for Hall of Fame coaches in the Philippines, and my work ethic as a player was what allowed me to play as long as I did, and that work ethic now carries over to being a coach. sabi ni Coach Norman, my first year out of retirement when I was with the Morocco staff, he said, you know, son, and you guys all know Coach Norman, diba? So sabi ni Coach Norman, you know, son, you know, as a young coach, you know, Coach Norman has such a deep voice. You know, as a young coach, you're gonna have to watch a lot of video. I've been coaching for over 30 years, and I still watch video because that is one of the best teaching points that you can get as a coach. Because not only are you able to see how your team is performing, but also yung kalaban. So kahit Mono Vampire, Saigon Heat, or whatever team we're playing, I watch more video now than I ever did as a player. But again, you know, it's, you know, I pride myself on being very well prepared so that when I do talk to my team, they have confidence in me to know that, all right, Coach Jimmy might be a young coach, but he knows what he's talking about, and he knows who we're playing, and he knows the opponent. Because I wouldn't want to speak in front of my team, and parang they're looking at me like he has no idea what he's talking about. So, you know, preparation is everything, and I want to make sure that I'm doing my part as their head coach to put them in the best position possible to win.
Coach, who's your greatest influence in terms of coaching?
Great question. You know, Coach Norman has been very supportive from, my goodness, the time that I came to the Philippines. You know, we've always maintained a very good relationship. He's a coach who, you know, I have the utmost respect for, and he's really done everything in terms of Philippine basketball, from the collegiate level with his time at Ateneo, and of course winning the Grand Slam and all the championships that he's won. So he's won, and probably Coach Jamike Harin from NU. Kasama kami ni Coach Jamike during my time with in the PBA. He's just been a great mentor, and I just love his energy. I love the relationship that he builds with his players. And Coach Jamike is not afraid to think outside the box when it comes to coaching. So definitely stand out. Coach Tab has been very helpful through the years. Of course, he was our consultant back in 2013 during the FIBA Asia, and also in our build up for the World Cup in 2014. So yeah.
Okay. No Coach Shot? Edit niyo yun.
No, Coach Shot also, but again, you know, the guys who I've maintained consistent communication with have been the three that I mentioned.
Yeah. Coach, again, we are live but later, no? But before you continue your question, I think it's safe to say that while Coach Salapag isn't really saying, why didn't you make the shot? I made those shots, the PBA. That's great, no? But I think that during crunch time, deep inside, Jimmy wants to make that crucial shot. Eventually, I mean, you wanted to enter the court and make the shot.
Not anymore, sir. You know, not anymore. Again, if you guys remember, yung last PBA game ko was the finals, Morocco Ginebra. Lahat kayo are familiar with Justin Brownlee. His first PBA championship was against Morocco, my last team, the buzzer beater with 20,000+ people at Arnetta. Lahat sila had the phones with the flashlight on. But again, you know, I came out of retirement that last season. You know, especially, you know, one, I missed the competition, but also, you know, my kids, you know, my youngest who's here wasn't even around yet during that game, but that was added motivation that last season to see my kids at least get their dad to see me play one season. But I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the time that I had, and walang isip na, oh, you know, I should still be out there. I can play for I Love for 15 minutes. No feeling like that at all. You know, I walked away from the game with my health and proud of what I gave to the game, and my focus now is how can I help teach and motivate and inspire these guys to hopefully have a 14-year career, if not longer, and hopefully encounter some of the same success that I was able to have during my career.
Thank you, and may call on Dennis. Ay, meron pa pala.
Follow up lang.
From Dennis to Dennis.
Yeah. Coach, correct me if I'm wrong, because parang there was a time before na parang coaches live and die with just one system. Parang now is the hybrid era. Parang coaches try to adapt as many systems as they can. Is that correct?
Of course. I think as a coach, you have to be very open-minded because the game is always evolving. You can't necessarily just stick to one system because every season the lineup changes. So one season this system might work. Next season, with different players, a different system might play more to their strengths. So I think it's just important to stay open-minded. But again, if you have the same lineup over a consistent amount of time, then it might make sense to keep the same system. Pero again, the game's always evolving. So I think as a coach, you continue to learn, you continue to grow, and you just stay open-minded to what you feel will help your team be successful.
Yeah. Does that mean, Coach, that it's tougher to coach nowadays than before? It's now tougher to coach nowadays than before?
I can't say it's tougher because I've only been coaching for 3 years. But again, I think the talent continues to get better. Going back to when I first came to the Philippines in 2002 to now, I mean the speed and the athleticism of the athletes now is just off the charts. And again, I think it's a credit to coaching getting better, players getting better. You find kids nowadays training at a much younger age. We never did plyometric training when I was 10 years old. You just kind of went out there on the court and played. So I think because of those type of things, it's evolved the game and made the game what it is today.
Coach, thank you.
Last two questions, because we still have the part 2. Dennis, another Dennis. Yes, Dennis the Menace.
Hey Aaron, what made you decide to come out of retirement? Deciding factor ba dun si Coach Jimmy na teammate mo dati sa TNT?
Yes, it's a great opportunity to makapaglaro with Jimmy. And then, siyempre yung motivation din is yung family ko, yung mga kids ko, yung father ko, and then yung the whole Bukidnon, sa amin sa Oriental, and maybe yung lahat ng mga fans ko. Siguro rin yung nagpa-ano sa akin na para bumalik sa paglalaro.
Ano yung feeling na makakalaro ay magiging dati teammate mo si Coach Jimmy, ngayon susundin mo na siya, dati kayo magkasama sa court pero ngayon
iba rin yung pakiramdam, no? Kasi before teammate ko siya, and then ngayon, although before naman talagang nakikinig kami sa kanya kasi ibang klase siya yung pag nag-lead sa team. So yun, parang naninibago pa.
Wala po. Thank you.
Alam mo, hindi nababanggit ni Aaron, never mentioned it, na nanonood din siya ng ABL nung nagpahinga siya. Nakita niya, daming mayayabang dito na player. Kailangan, I have to teach them lessons. Anyway, I'm just kidding po I'm just kidding. For our final question.
Okay, final talaga to. Hindi, tatanungin ko lang yung mga players. Siyempre, iba-iba you have different perspectives kasi you've been with Jimmy the longest time. Then si Jason, first time, then si Aaron. Pero so far, how would you rate your coach? The Coach Jimmy, huwag mo na makinig. How would you describe the coaching style of Coach Jimmy? How would you rate him? From yes, it will depend.
Honestly, I think for me personally, Coach Jimmy's kind of one of the better coaches for me to play under, as far as he's a real inspiring coach. I can listen to him and listen to what he's saying, and it's going to motivate me to want to do what the team needs, what what I got to go out there and do for my job, and you know what I mean. So for me, it's you know, he's a motivating coach. On top of, you know, he backs up what he says. You know, he's never ever told me anything and it not fell through. You know, I could trust him, and you know, so when he makes decisions, when he tells us to do certain things on the court, I trust his decision. So, you know, for me, that's what it is.
Okay, you'll get 25 minutes playing time. No, just kidding. Coach Jason. Jason.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest reasons that I came to play with Alab is because Coach Jimmy was coaching. I think he's done a great job of preparing us for the season, and I'm just excited to learn as much as I can from him and hopefully win a championship with him.
Okay. Aaron, siyempre kilala mo siya as teammate, pero as a coach, anong tingin mo?
Medyo bago pa ako sa kanya, pero pagkakilala ko kay Jimmy, no, he's a great motivator. Yung dati na teammate kami. Siguro, ano pa rin ako na maging matuto sa kanya.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And on that note, the 45th, the first part, the 45th, Usapang Sports. Tapos na po. And may call on our friends from the volleyball team and from Mabalacat, Pampanga also to join us for our traditional picture taking. Maybe with other Filipinas here, 20,000 likes in Facebook.